And welcome back to the Play-by-Play podcast. I'm your host, Finn Hogan, and I'm here with your co-host, the man himself, Alec Palella.
How are we doing, guys?
For our guest today, we got another transfer, back-to-back transfers of the episodes from Saginaw Valley, looking for a new home now, Marcellus Anderson. How are you doing today, my boy?
Yes, sir. What's good, boys? Appreciate
Not
you guys
much,
for
not
having
much.
me.
What did you guys do this weekend? I know that's a little bit of a drive for you guys.
Oh, I actually went back home to Indiana, saw my mom because I'm not going to see her for a couple weeks because I got some visits coming up. So I'm going to be flying out of Detroit for a lot of my flights. So I went back home, saw my mom because next time I'm going to see her is Christmas, and then after that I'm coming back to Michigan and doing all my flights out of Detroit because it's easier. So
yeah. Well, that's a perfect intro. We'll start right with this transfer. Congratulations.
Yes,
I know
sir.
You've had quite a career at Saginaw.
Yes, sir.
Saginaw, for people that don't know, is a Division II school in the GLIAC, which is probably like the number one Division II conference in the country. So, yeah, you started at tackle right there.
Guard.
You were playing guard there?
Guard,
okay, perfect. So, guard, and then you're entering the transfer portal. Talk to me about that. Like, you got visits. Where are we going?
Yep. So, basically, I am going to be a grad transfer. I haven't graduated yet, so I will graduate in May, and so basically, I have a couple visits. Like I'm going to University of Massachusetts next weekend for 3 days, and then I'll be visiting a bunch of schools: Northern Arizona, Missouri State, and basically like any school that hits me up between now and then. Like a lot of these schools are trying to find mid-year guys to get there in January now, so they can have a spring ball and do a winter with the team. So basically, a lot of the schools are telling me like, "Hey, like we're gonna try finding a mid-year guy, but if we don't, like." You're our guy, basically. We'll hit you up in January, February, March. Like, I still have a bunch of time. So, it's a blessing in disguise that, I hadn't have to make a quick decision. But, it's like there's pros and cons to all of it,
Yeah. Where are you? Do you have anything that you're looking for, like, that you want out of a school or anything like that? Like, which one's catching your eye right now?
Yeah, like, basically, like, I went into it, like, blind. Like, I didn't really know, like, what I wanted at first. But, like, now since, like, a couple schools have offered me, I think I want, like, I really want, like, to be at a place that wins. Like, like, I don't want to go into a place that, like, isn't very good or has a bad culture. Like you look at like dudes that transfer in and out of teams and you're just like, all right, like I want my last 4 months of possibly like ever playing football like to be great. Like it's one of those things where it's like you want to be on a winning culture and you want to be like you want to have a chance to compete for a starting job. Like, some schools call you and they're like, hey, we're looking for depth or we're looking for certain things. It's like, all right, like I respect you for telling me that because like I didn't want to get there and find that out, So it's like, all right, hats off to you, but I'm good. It's just like one of those things. You got to respect like, and it's kind of cool. I mean, like, basically all of the things that happen, like they're talking to you as an adult now. So like you're going through high school recruiting and you're like, you're looking at like, oh man, like what's this like? Like I'm going to spend 5 years here. So now it's almost like, listen, I'm going to be graduated. I'm not even going to be taking graduate classes. It's literally just where I'm going. I'm playing football like for 4 months of locking in, trying to get my best chance to succeed. So
yeah, I feel that.
You're talking about, you said you've been playing for like 5 years now, you said?
Yeah.
So like I kind of want to touch on what was your experience like coming in freshman year? Like how did you play like each year? Did you play like start right away? Like kind of talk about your experience going through college and like the ups and downs and your kind of your journey.
So I'm from Indiana, so there's not any. I had never heard of the GLIAC. I haven't heard of Grand Valley, Ferris, Saginaw, any of this stuff before. I mean, we only have one D2 school in Indiana. It's the University of Indianapolis. So I haven't really like known a lot about D2 football or anything like that.
Right.
But Saginaw like came into my school and they offered me, and I really didn't know what was going on. So I ended up committing there in like February, like right before signing day, because I had a bunch of options. And they like, I mean, it's a nice place. Like they have a beautiful indoor, great facilities, like good tradition of football there and stuff like that. So, I mean, playing in right away, like I redshirted in the fall of 2018, and I was a 2 spot in 2019. And then I was going to be a starter in 2020. Obviously, Division II, didn't play football at all.
Right.
2021, I had a pretty good year, first team all GLIAC. And then this past year, I was second team all GLIAC, had a pretty good season. We finished 8-3. It was all right. I mean, going into it, you really don't know, like, how to work hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think you work hard all the time, and you think you, like, work hard in high school, and then you realize you're like, okay, everyone works hard. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to find a new level to tap into and a new level of, like, working hard, essentially. To be good at that level,
I know we talked about, because we talked about in the past podcast. I was just telling about like our 8 days in the last 9, we had workouts and stuff like that. Like if you had told me about that going into like, I would have been like, what are you talking about? Or here's another one, camp. I feel like nobody talks about fall camp. Like going into college, I didn't even know what fall camp was. I was like, oh yeah, start a football season, something like that. No, that is 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. every day of the week for a month straight. Like, did you? What I don't know. What was camp like for you guys?
Yeah, like basically the same thing. And I'm glad you said it too, because it's like one of those things where we were kind of like the class. I mean, I graduated in 2018. You guys were 2021, and you like think about like, wow, like we really didn't do 2-a-days. You know, like I didn't do 2-a-days in high school. I'm older than you guys, so I'm not sure if Michigan had, or Illinois. You know what I'm saying? Like that stuff cancels out. Like there's no 2-a-days anymore, and like you hear from like, you know, people we go to high school with, it's like, oh, 2-a-days, like you have 2 practices a day, you know, they keep you there basically all day, stuff like that. It's like, no, man, we just have 1 practice a day, and then boom, you switch to college, and it's like you practice maybe 1 practices, but you have a walkthrough.
Yeah.
You're there having 3 meetings a day. You know what I'm saying? Like
you got
a lot of
like everything.
Lift, you know, team activities. It's like more mentally drained than like, especially as a young kid, like, I mean, 17, 18 years old, you're thinking like you're away from your parents for the first time, like you're away from your family, away from your girlfriend, like it is. I mean, that's just crazy. Like no one talks about that enough for sure. Like,
no, my first camp, I remember coming in and people are like, "Oh, like you better be ready." I'm like, "What?" Like, well, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited." They're like, "There's no, you should not be like excited about this right now." We came in. I think ours were like you come in early, meetings start like 7. I think we did like alternate days, like you'd lift one day like in the morning, or then you'd have like a walkthrough instead. Like that would alternate. Yeah. Then you'd have like lunch or whatever. You come back, get ready for practice. Meetings before that, practice. After practice, dinner. Then you come back for more meetings, like stuff like that. I remember there was probably like a few times where like I don't cry much. I almost like started crying. Like I was so mentally drained. You can't say you've ever been in that situation.
It's like you go there and you come home and you literally lay in bed and you're like, damn, like I'm waking up in 6 hours. I gotta do this shit again. Like, and it's for a month straight.
A month straight, nonstop. And like you say, like now we're the guys telling like freshmen coming in like, you better like wipe this off your
get
face.
ready.
Like it's about to get real fast. Like
obviously, I think I mean, you could probably talk about this too. Does it get better every year? Because I'm only my second year in, so I'm still figuring it out. It gets better
because you find the guys that you enjoy it with. Like it's weird to explain, and I didn't figure out until like my 3rd year there at Saginaw in college football. Like, wow, like I'm not only doing this for me now. Like I'm doing it for the guys that like I worked out with all winter. I worked out with all summer. You know, like they're going through it with me too. So it's not one of those things where like you don't feel as alone, like as you do like when you're a freshman and second year. Like it's like, man, like these kids dropped. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not sure if I can do it. It's like, oh no, like this is my 3rd year here. Like
boys,
you got your boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like in the bond you create with your friends. Like this isn't like a, you know, you come in as a freshman, you've only known the dudes for a week, so you know what I mean. You don't know how to work hard with those guys yet. You know, so
yeah, I know. Like for us, like coming in, especially as a freshman, like having to learn the playbook, that was my biggest thing. Because like I feel like this year, my second year, like I already knew the playbook, like that kind of thing. So I can more just focus on just playing ball, like focus on technique, things like that. But then freshman year, you're like, you gotta learn everything. You gotta figure out how things roll. Like I feel like that just adds a whole level of stress to
everything's new too. So like you got new coaches, people are screaming. You're not used to it as much as high school because they don't scream like that in high school. Like everyone's on your ass. Like
it's a fact.
It's a different ball game.
No doubt.
I want to ask too. We kind of talked about recruiting. So what was recruiting like for you? I know Division II is kind of different from Division I. I always say my thing is college football is college football, and like I think recruiting is all based off of opportunity. And whether like this, you might be better than this one kid, but he makes one play against one good kid. Like that other guy might beat him 9 out of 10 times, but he made that play in front of certain eyes, and boom, he's up on top just like that. So I mean, what was it like for you and like that process from Indiana, stuff like that?
Yeah, so like basically like kind of like I said before, like Indiana doesn't really have many D2s or FCS schools. Like you know you go to Illinois, Missouri, like in like North Dakota, South Dakota State, like there's Iowa, Northern Iowa. There's a bunch of FCSs. So like if you didn't go to like Notre Dame, Purdue, or Indiana, and Indiana, like I mean that's like Big Ten, and Notre Dame's obviously Notre Dame. So like you're thinking to yourself like I gotta start reaching out to other states and stuff like that. And like when you are like going through that stuff, you don't even really know anything about like Indiana State, Illinois. You know what I'm saying? Missouri Valley School is just like a thing that you're like okay, like, and that's why NAIA ball is like pretty good in Indiana because there's not really any like D2s that, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy because there's not that many opportunities unless you're going Division I. You know what I'm saying? In the state of Indiana anyway. But like, you know, like the GLIAC has done a really good job, I think, of like recently just like coming down to Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, and like getting these kids that like some of these schools like, you know, Marion in Indiana and St. Francis in Indiana that win national titles, like those kids could easily be playing at like I think like small Division I level, but they just don't have opportunities because they are in the state of Indiana. You know what I'm saying? So like it all just depends, I guess, like where you're at. Like you said, kind of like it's luck and geographically where you're located and how you're getting recruited like that. So man, it's crazy.
No, I know. I can attest for this for like me and Duke being up north where like a linebacker all line place is what like I've always been told. Like when I ask coaches, that's what they always say. So for us, I know trying to play like H-back and then wide receiver, like coaches are not going to Northern Michigan to find those positions. So I totally understand what you say. Like people aren't coming there to Indiana like to look for those certain spots and things like that. I mean, what is Illinois known for? I can't even like.
I mean, I play in 8A, so it's a bit like I play with all the big schools. We got like the Lincoln Way East, like the big names. We got like J.J. McCarthy. I mean, I feel like Illinois has got a lot of big talent, and like the recruiting, it's not bad. I mean, I was like the second, like we were talking about on the last podcast, I was like the second D1 player at my school. So like there really wasn't many like people who have like been produced, but I mean there are kids like around in that area that are going to big schools and stuff like that. So
take me quickly back. I want to talk about like your offense in high school. Like, what was that like? Did you guys run a lot of like what did you run?
Basically, we just ran like a lot of. We were the wing T, so like I wouldn't say the wing T, but we ran the T, like double tight ends. Like we didn't ever split anyone out. We didn't really split anyone out wide like at all. We threw the ball less than 20 times my senior year. So like basically, it was just run right, run left. Run right, one left until like basically we busted one open. I mean, we were solid, you know, like it's one of those things where it was like you really don't know that like there's more to football until you get to school.
So like college, totally it was.
Oh yeah, like first day there, I was so confused on what a zone scheme or like a gap scheme was. I had no idea, you know, because like we're literally running like fullback through the whole block, power lead, you know what I'm saying, just stuff like that. So like it was like I wouldn't change it for the world, but you know what I'm saying, like it's one of those things where you're like, okay, like. I'm glad that I like got to learn all this stuff because like really once you start learning it, it's just like so interesting to you that you just want to keep learning more and more and like that's how you become better. You know?
Yeah,
so.
I think it's all about like like especially like you said, you played T, you never really had experience with those kind of things like going in. I know like for me, I was blessed because I had Duke's dad who like when we first got here, we're doing like hang cleans, things like that. Like I've been doing that since 9th grade. Yep. A bunch of those guys got here. They had never even like heard of a hang clean or snatch or like anything like that. And then same thing for offensive wise, like playing. I think we played spread, and then like my senior year we went to like a veer. But like having experiences in all those like different offenses and things like that, I think that just benefits like you growing into it as for sure. And then like for someone like you, like that's totally new and it's a different world. I know. What did you guys run? Were you spread mainly?
We ran like a pro style offense, so we had a tight end and everything. We ran like power, stuff like that. Just really basic stuff. I ran like a pop pass 90% of my plays in high school. We had like maybe 15 offensive plays.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah, the difference between like college playbook and the high school playbook is ridiculous. Like we got like 200 play, like crazy amounts of stuff. Like people don't actually conceive like how much we need to remember and like all the details that really go into like every play.
Was your playbook like crazy or not really?
Yeah, I mean, basically we try to simple it down as much as possible for like the offensive line. Like, you know, if it's an inside zone going right, like it could be an inside zone going right, and then Coach Brady likes to throw like some option stuff out of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? If it's inside zone going left, it could be inside zone left, or it could be like fake inside zone left with a speed read off the DN. You know, just like little stuff like that. So like basically they just tried to simple it down for us as much as possible, which was super nice. And all of our pass protection stuff was the same. Like one call, I mean, either left or right slide. You know what I'm saying? Like that stuff's not too difficult to figure out. You know, like they try to make it as simple as possible, which I think is great. Like especially for the younger guys coming in, like we were just talking about, like when you're a freshman, like you really just want it to be simple and stuff like that. So I think that's the best way to do it.
Ours is ridiculous. I'm gonna be 100% honest. It is huge. We have
it's a NFL.
It is like
really?
Oh my god. Well, there'll be like it's a whole sentence. The play is literally like I don't want to say a whole play out loud, but it's like it'll be like north blah blah blah. Like there'll be like 10 words in one thing,
right?
And each guy has to listen for one word. Like one word tells you
hack 6 buzz,
hack 6 bugs, Liz the Yazoo, trips left, like just all this like crazy stuff. And like one word, so like one word will tell the offensive line what to do. One word is going to tell the running back what to do. One word will tell like the wideouts what to do. So like for me, I have no idea what the offensive line is doing. I know the run. I know if it's right or left. I know if the run's right or left, and that's it. Yeah. I don't know what's going on in there. I know you say the word. I'm like, I got my route. all right, I'm
Let's
going.
go to
Like
work.
that's all I'm doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
crazy.
don't nothing to know. Like, do you know the pass plays really or not really?
So like basically what we do, like we call the formation out first. We get set into the formation, and then like we try to like call the play out of the formation. So like we're given the formation signal, we get lined up, then we get a play, and then obviously we'll have like code words. Like we'll say like, say like it's green, green, green. Like we're in a certain formation, we're running this way, and they know the formation off of green. It's all put together. It's just like stuff like that. But like other than that, like they try to make it as simple as possible. I think like obviously, like you kind of said, like I really don't know what route the wide receiver is running. I don't even know the formations. I mean, trips left, that's 3 wide receivers to the left. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? Like I played Madden before.
That's good enough.
What I'm saying? Like I don't go like you said that. I'm just worried about my job and what I need to do. Like still, I mean, like you guys are second years, I'm fifth year. Like it won't change. You know what I'm saying? Like you're literally trying to do your job the best ability to dominate. So like you ain't worried about what the wide receiver is doing, blocking, anything. I'm just trying to do my job.
We had talked about this, like the positions that have the hardest. I would say quarterback. Because quarterback, you gotta know everything. Like we might take one word out of that sentence. They gotta. Did you see the video of like Trevor Lawrence talking about he like made a play call off his thing and it was like a paragraph long. It was hilarious.
Yeah, like the quarterback. What people don't understand, like they talk about like O lineman, D lineman, like they're so important. Like true, so true, like
Facts.
super important. But the quarterback position, like. A team could like have a good quarterback and like the Bengals last year. You know what I'm saying? Like their O-line was awful, but like they had a good quarterback that made plays. Like they made a Super Bowl run. You know what I'm saying? Like the quarterback position is so important, and I think that like people are like we just talked kind of like just like it's finally starting to come back around. We're like okay, like these dudes have to remember everything, and then they have to make the throw or make the right give, make the right read. Like I mean, I'd be up late at night watching tape more than I already. You know what I'm saying? More than we already are. That's crazy. But like you said too, I remember like Sean Payton calling Drew Brees like XY banana split, Y open, X blah blah blah. It's like, bro, like how do you even remember any of that stuff? No. Like, I mean, obviously they're professionals, but like,
no. And then I would say quarterback, corner, because corner you're just reacting, and then tight end because they have to know pass plus block. I know we've talked about this before in the podcast, but like,
I mean, we gotta know protection. We gotta know what the running back has, what the lineman has, what we have. We got to make sure the wide receivers are lined up right. We got to make sure we know our route. Like, you got to know the progression too. Like, you got to know everything. Just like
plus, tight ends like are mostly on like all special teams too. So like, not only are you worried about like blocking and running the right route, like you got to go on kickoff return and like stick a dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if we all play college football. Like everyone takes special teams seriously. So, like, you got to do your job on kickoff return. You're going to get reamed. You know what I'm saying?
Like, no, 100%.
There ain't no plays off, bro. Like, it's not like that, Like, it's crazy. But, like, like, tight end. I was like, tight ends and linebackers have it pretty hard, too. Like, linebackers got to fill the gap and take on O linemen, and then they got to go cover a slot dude. Like, that's difficult, too. Like,
have you ever played any special teams? Have you ever had to do anything?
No, man. No. Actually, I'm not going to lie. Like, when I was in high school, I kicked some PATs. But, like,
no, you didn't.
I kicked some PATs.
He had the boot.
I did, bro. It was a toe baller, obviously. Like, I wasn't taught how. I mean, bro, we threw the ball 20 times. I was toe balling, like everything.
Hilarious.
We were just trying to kick it through. I mean, I played in the cornfields of Indiana. Like we didn't have regular goalposts. We had like the H ones. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like,
where it's like the double side. Yeah,
like
that's what LSU has, right? When we went there, they still had those. Yeah. That's hilarious. Toe balling it.
Toe balling it.
That's so good.
Hey, I got a question though.
Hit me.
Okay, so at SAG we practice from 9 to 11. Can you like walk me through? Because like I always think about, I'm like down south, like these schools are practicing like in the middle of the day, like during camp. It's August. Like there's no way they can keep their weight on. Like it's it's 85, 90 at 2 o'clock. Like that's how it is here too. So like maybe you both can like chime in a little bit on how your body feels. I mean, I had you on Snap. I remember you seeing like ice baths after and stuff like that. So like I feel it, but like can you like walk through some of like you can feel the heat coming off the ground in some days. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hot.
Normally we go, like I said earlier, we kind of do meetings in the morning, like a lift, like walk through or something like that. And then we'll do lunch and then come back and do practice. So, like you said, I think like meetings start at 2. And then like we'll probably get out to the walkthrough at 3:30 or something like that. I mean, like, for me, weight is, I'm not like, I don't have to weigh a ton. So it's, and I've always had like a good, like, I'm not like losing a lot of weight or like putting it on really easy. I mean, for you, what is it?
I don't lose crazy amounts. I mean, I'll lose maybe like 4 or 5 pounds, which is a decent amount. But like, it's nothing compared to some of the guys that lose like 10 to 12 pounds. Like, I'd say like the biggest thing is just staying like hydrated throughout the day, and they give us like a lot of resources. Like they give us like the drip drop.
Yeah.
They make sure like we weigh in the mornings, we weigh in afterwards.
Like 3 times.
They give us
Really?
they make sure to give us like plenty of meals in fall camp, especially like when we're there the whole day.
Yeah.
So I mean they do a pretty good job of like making sure we keep our weight up. And
Do you guys practice through the morning like throughout the year, or is that just
Yeah, we practice in the morning. So basically at SVSU, you can't have a class before 11:30. Like 11:30 is the earliest. And like sometimes kids have practice at like or class at 11:30, and practice goes to 11. So like you see kids like literally every day, no exaggeration, running into the locker room as soon as they get the break, and so they can go to class. You know, like
we do the same thing because during the season it's 2, and like guys will have class until
a lot of kids don't like show up to our first meeting because they're still in class, and they'll show up like either right when the walkthrough starts, and like they'll just come down and practice. Like they don't even go to our meetings. Like
wow.
Like depending on major, because certain classes you can't like adjust or anything like that, or like kids might leave a half hour early from practice.
Right.
Like they might just like miss the end of practice.
Yeah, because I remember last year a couple of the tight ends, they like Butch, he left like one of the days, like the whole practice. He would show up for like the walkthrough, and then he would have to leave. And like Kasu, same thing. He would leave on like Wednesday practices, so we would be down like a guy because guys got to go to class and stuff like that. But
that's what's crazy. People don't really like real people don't really understand. It's like we really go to class like regular students. And
we
then
got the same schedule as you,
and
but we're up way earlier.
Exactly,
we're doing all this other stuff. No, dude, I can't even. I still feel like I talk to like kids. I'll be like, oh yeah, like I have some friends that aren't athletes. I'll be like, you want to hang out? And they'll be like, dude, I'm so busy right now. I'm like, dude, there's no way you're more busy than me.
Exactly.
And you have zero free time.
Isn't
right
it crazy?
now.
Like you talk to like, I mean, it's with everybody, you know, like your friends or whatever. You're like, oh man, you trying to get something to eat this weekend? Oh man, like no, I gotta study. It's like, no man, like
dude, we are doing the same work right now.
Exactly.
Okay? And somehow I have more free time than you right now.
Exactly, man.
Makes zero sense.
Wait, so hey, talk to me what's going on like with you guys for the like winter. Like what's going on? Like you guys start the first day. You guys get back to campus or like what's the?
Yeah, we'll start right away.
Yeah.
I don't know.
we technically already started, kind of.
Yeah,
because we just right after the season we dove into it.
Now all that stuff is mandatory, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We had a couple guys show up a little late. Don't want to
do that.
No doubt.
No.
Is it like actually mandatory or is it like
yeah,
one of those things where like,
everything
hey,
is
like
mandatory.
you're coming here no matter what? Like
if you don't come, we do. So we have things called 5:30s. So like if you're late to a meeting, a lift,
anything,
anything.
don't get your lunch that they give us. You miss a meal, like
if you don't pick up your meals, they check off people's names. So
do they make like personalized meals for you? Or
no. So like
they'll get like Panda Express or
Okay.
Texas Roadhouse, and it'll just be the same thing for everybody. But
Right, okay.
but they'll have somebody there like, all right,
Checking
like
it.
Alec, you got your food. Here you
Yeah,
go.
check names
Cross
off.
that name off. And at the end of it, they'll look at it. Let's say like Finn didn't come get his food. I got a 5:30 in the morning because I'm not.
because last year. My only ever 5:30 I have, or actually no, I got the one other one for shout out Omar.
No, that doesn't even count. I had to go to that.
The Orby guns.
Oh my god.
No, I got a 5:30
we'll
because
tell that
I
story
forgot to get my bagel after like a lift or something, and we had nothing the rest of the day. I didn't even know we had breakfast like that day. I just left, went back to my dorm. Next thing I get a text from Coach T. He's like, "You got a 5:30." I'm like, "Fuck."
Okay, so I've only had one 5:30 in my career, and it was because you ever had Orby guns? Did you guys ever have like Orby guns, like the
you dip
the little
in
thing?
water.
Yeah, the little things that you like shoot out or whatever.
Yep.
We had like everybody invested in Orby gun over the summer, and Deerfield is like an apartment complex around here where like everybody lives or whatever. And they were running around in the parking lot, shooting each other with Orby guns and stuff like that. There was somebody brought
fireworks going off.
Someone brought fireworks off.
I'm pretty sure somebody shot one into like a car.
Yeah, it was like a bad situation. So they called someone called the cops on them. So like all of them, it was like a lot of freshmen and stuff like that. And so next day we had a 5:30 at 5:30. And all freshmen and sophomore had to come, plus like some of the older guys that were involved or whatever, because it was mainly like freshmen and sophomore. So we go in there and he like makes everybody admit it and whatnot, like whoever did it and stuff like that.
Was it the strength coach or like the
strength coach?
Oh,
Strength
okay.
coach.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Intense. Our guy gets the best out of guys, but he's intense. Like he is on you. So yeah, he was like grilling everybody. And he was like, you can go over here. It's a trust thing. Be honest with me. He's sitting up front. Nobody's gonna lie to him. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
So everybody like that did anything got up and like went over there, sat down in the spot or whatever. And so you didn't have to do it, right? Yeah, no. I didn't have to do it. So we got to come change. We come out it is pitch black out. They're in the stadium doing plate pushes. So they each got a 45-pound plate, and they're like pushing
the plate on the
down.
tour.
Oh yeah, down and back.
So tough.
They do the barrel rolls.
Then they
like
roll.
The 100-yard
so
barrel
he
roll.
pushes it down.
What is it with roll? I've never done a roll.
I've never
once.
done a roll either.
It makes
What's
you
it?
throw.
You
It
done a roll?
no, but it literally it's
No,
meant
'cause
to
everybody
make you throw up.
Dude, people get up, they start like running sideways or whatever, and then just start throwing up everywhere.
It's
was
it's
terrible.
literally
It looks so
just
bad.
made to make you throw up.
Yeah, there's no.
Man, like you see people doing them, you're like, what? I don't understand.
No,
like,
it's
wouldn't
terrible.
that be easier than like making them run or something? But then you think about it, you're like, maybe not. Like, yeah.
They were just
I
dying.
remember last year, Tico Brown. Remember he missed like the
my
first fall camp meeting, and Coach Welsh made him carry. What was he had to carry like plates?
A trap bar.
Yeah, he
He'd
had to
carry
carry
a trap bar with like
around our
135
field. Around our field
full
for like
pads.
the entire practice.
First week of fall camp. He didn't practice. He
Bro,
would put all
he's
his pads on,
drenched.
would pick up the trap bar, and would walk around around the field all
I
practice.
swear he would just hold like
Yeah,
plates.
that's all he would do. He would just walk around, or he would hold it like above his head.
Yeah,
he'd have
yeah,
to hold
yeah.
it like this
Yeah.
and just walk with it like a 45-pound
in his
plate
pads
above
with his helmet.
with
on.
his pads and his
Or
helmet.
he had to
on.
like hold his helmet above his head.
Yeah, just
Walk
all
around
kinds of
the
stuff.
field.
Just like basically just saying,
I'm pretty sure he's at Missouri State right now.
Yeah, he is at Missouri State.
really?
Yeah, Tico Brown. He's a boy. I love
He's a
him.
D tackle.
D tackle.
D tackle.
Dude, I might have to get.
Yeah.
So he knows who you guys are then.
Yeah. He lived with Nick Apsey. You know, Nick
Okay,
is
he's a
with,
Glen Lake guy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was not
Man.
like we did.
Wait, so walk me through. Like obviously everyone does like it's strength and conditioning. Like what are like. So like we do a lot of conditioning in January, February. I know everyone's different. Do you guys do a lot of conditioning in January, February too, or like is it more meant for like summer stuff too? Like because we kind of like obviously they switch gears like the summer peak. You want to peak in like late July, right before camp, stuff like that. So like walk me through like your guys' like winter condition or like what I'm saying like winter conditioning stuff. Obviously you want to get stronger and stuff. But.
I mean, Alec, you can take this one if you want. Go through the list.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much like the lifts are similar to summer because we just do like we have like our strength, we have our speed training. Like there's like 3 sections, so it's like speed first, and then we go into the weight room and we do like our weight training, and then we normally do conditioning every day, right? Like we do our conditioning.
Summer
after.
conditioning, we do. It's called quarters.
Yeah.
So a quarter is 7 sprints, and we have 4 different kinds of sprints. There's a fastball, which is like you sprint 5, jog out
You get a
through 10.
3-point stint. You
Get
sprint
3.
5, jog 10, then you got to get reset, and you do
Yeah,
that
get reset.
for like 55 yards. Or
A
whatever
60
it is.
is like 15, 15, 15, 15.
5-0.
5-0 is 5, 5, 5, 5.
30.
Finish through 30, yeah. And then a straightaway is just 55 straight. So like it will alternate between those.
Yeah.
And we do quarters. So like normally by the end of the summer we'll do 4 quarters. So you do
Yeah.
28 sprints in a row.
That
Yeah,
sucks.
it's
that's
a burner.
That's not easy.
It is a burner.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
You
So
like-
that was the first thing we do.
Do you feel like pretty good shape like in the summer?
Oh, yeah.
no doubt.
It sucks at the end. Like 4 quarters is terrible. But like when you look back and you're like that first week when we did 1 quarter and everybody was dying.
dying,
Like
yeah.
we're
Yeah,
it's such a
you guys
far away.
like carry like it's 1 quarter like the first week.
Yeah.
Second quarter like week 3 or 4.
builds
whatever,
it up
you know what I'm saying, just
exactly.
builds it up.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just keeps
Yeah.
going.
Man, not too bad. But like, is you guys like kind of peel it back when spring ball starts? Obviously, right? Like,
Yeah. We do something called circuits during the off season, like January and February.
every Friday.
Yeah, and it's 2-a-days. So you'll do your normal lift and condition. We do. I think we talked about this a little off camera, but the Ring of Fire, we play the Johnny
Okay,
Cash
yeah.
song. So Fridays you'll do like your speed, your lift, and then you do the Johnny Cash song, which is if people don't know, it's the Ring of Fire song. We just do down ups to it. That's pretty much it. So we do
just
that.
down ups to Johnny
Dude,
Cash.
yeah.
Ring of Fire.
That's what we do. So we do that.
So-
That's like our conditioning at the end of the
Yeah.
lift. Then we come back at 2 on Fridays. Like that'll be whatever your morning.
Yeah, they make
is.
sure everybody doesn't have class on Fridays too, so they
Yep.
can come back for our conditioning.
Nobody has class on Fridays. Everybody comes back at 2 and we do a circuit. So each coach, so the coaches come, all the coaches come. They each get their own like little speed drill, and we sit there for like an hour and a half and just like
It's
just
literally
rotate,
just
rotate.
competitive cone drills. Like
Yeah.
it's like 5, 10, 5. There's like the chase the rabbit. Like you literally have to just mirror the guy. Like just dumb like just competitive drills that just make you gas. And if you
2
don't
days in the off season.
Yep.
if you don't do it
So
right
tough.
too, like you got to restart.
Yeah. So it's all
So,
like
like-
a detail. It's supposed to be like detail because they're like yelling at you. So it's
Right,
they're
so
trying to get you
like,
to
make
get you to
fucking
screw up or
chaos,
whatever
yeah.
and stuff like that. But
Man.
yeah, I had to go
Man.
with the fast group. So like I was with the DBs. We had Dante, Ken.
You are fast.
Like I get that, but like they're fast. I'm not 4.3 fast. Like they're 4.3 fast. So like I'm with them, bro. We were cruising through stuff. It was crazy. Some of those guys. Oh my god.
Mind
some
you,
of those
you've
guys
already
fly.
done.
Right. Yeah,
What did you do at 6:30 that morning? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Right. We already got up and worked.
You already got that work in. But
We had one walk-on corner come in. Like he came in January, or I don't know if he came in January. He might came like he like already went to the school, so then he like tried out, walked out, and came in. First circuit day, they put him with us. I was like, this is gonna be so bad.
Bad news.
We were like 5 drills in. He is crying, like full on tears.
Oh,
and
I remember who you're talking about.
Rolled over.
That poor
like,
kid, though.
Dude, I felt terrible for him. And he kept saying his wrist was hurting and stuff because we were doing down and stuff like that. And one of our older safeties was like, "You can't be crying. He is like bawling. I'm like, Trey, right now is not the time to be talking about. Like, he is not going to get any better by you yelling at him right now. And never came back. Never came back.
He never came back.
He was gone.
He dropped.
Never seen the guy again, ever.
He had the wrist injury. I think he had the wrist injury, and then like that was the end of the week. So then, like Friday, he was like gone or something. Or no, Monday, like when we started the week, he like couldn't make it or something like that. And someone said that like he had an ankle issue and then never came back. It was just gone.
He was gone.
I was like, man, we totally ruined that kid's college football experience on that first day. I'm like, dude, you could have put him in, and like he put him in our group, and I was like, this is gonna be so bad now.
Yeah, like put him in with the linebackers. Or something.
Yeah,
like,
work him in slowly here. Let him figure some stuff out.
Man.
No, they killed that kid. Crazy. I feel bad for it.
Hey, talk about Oklahoma State, like Penn State, like talk about that stuff.
Bro, that was some of the coolest.
That was week 1, right? Oklahoma State?
Oklahoma State was week 1. Penn State was week 4. For me, I mean, last year, you got to go to LSU. I never got to do that.
Yeah, that LSU, I say LSU and Penn State were the most comparable. Like, Oklahoma State was still super cool, but I think those two were like the back. I think Penn State was the best in my opinion.
Bro.
Just the atmosphere, the fans. Right. I think LSU's like stadium was nicer, but the fans at Penn State were crazy, unmatched.
Yeah,
that was so
I
cool.
played because I played a Missouri game last year, first game of the year, that broke my collarbone, so I didn't travel to LSU.
Right,
so that was like the one game I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Oklahoma State was super cool, first game of the year, so they filled that thing out. Yeah. It's like a horseshoe, kind of like, and then they have like this huge video board, like it's like this whole side of the building, like 6 stories high.
Man, that's so cool.
So that was sweet. That was loud.
Was it hot down there?
Yeah. It rained like before the game, didn't it?
LSU or Penn State?
Oklahoma State.
Oh, Oklahoma State. It was like humid.
Yeah,
it wasn't even that bad because it was a little later game.
Yeah.
Night game, right? I remember you guys put up a bunch of points.
Yeah,
we were supposed to go home that same night, and then our pilot just ditched us.
Yeah, we're in the locker room after the game, and like we already had like so everybody's unchanging. Coach Matt comes back in. He's like, "Can I get everyone's attention? Everybody's like in the shower. Everybody's like peeking out. He goes, "All right, so we lost our pilots."
Yeah.
We're like, "What?"
I was showering when this happened. I'm like,
he's like, I want to go home. Like it's already 11 o'clock at night.
Oklahoma. Wait, you guys fly into Mount P?
Yeah, no, we find a Midland.
Okay.
So yeah, it was like 11 o'clock at night. We were gonna fly. We weren't supposed to get home till like 3:30 a.m. or something like that.
Man.
And they were like, "We're not gonna make it. Like, we don't have. We lost our pilots. Nobody's here to fly us home. We had to drive to Oklahoma City."
Where's Oklahoma State at? Is that Durant?
I don't even know. Yeah,
Durant, Oklahoma. Okay.
Yeah, so we had to drive to Oklahoma City, and we stayed in the Thunder's their away their away hotel. So like the teams that come and like play it there, it's like right next to the stadium, which is sweet. You can, like right out your window is the whole like stadium or whatever and stuff like that. So we had to drive there, and that was like a 2-hour drive, was it not? Something like that.
Yeah, it was like an hour.
Yeah. So then we had to get up at 7 a.m. and then go find a plane, and then got on a plane. So we got back at like Sunday at 4.
Yeah, that was.
You just have to like lift and stuff or whatever. Like
Monday was a normal Monday.
Wow.
So like we didn't really have a day off.
So Sunday's your guys' day off.
Normally, yeah. Sunday. So like you'll play Saturday, and then Sunday we'll have like team dinner normally, and like medical check-in later at night. But that's
Monday,
it.
like towards the end of the season, we really just started doing a lift and then like meetings. We didn't even like have
honestly
on Mondays.
It got like a lot
halfway
more
through the season, they like stopped doing it for some reason.
Yeah.
like try to relax
Just
bodies
relax
and
the
stuff
body,
like
get the
that.
body
Yeah.
fresh for the next. So like, okay, so basically like running down, like you guys you play a couple games on Saturday for like the first weeks 1 through like 5 or 6, right? And then like you guys play on a game on Wednesday, and then you'll have like that Thursday off, and then like you'll basically run it back. Like a Monday will be the Saturday essentially.
Yeah, so they call it like Maction or whatever, and then we play Wednesdays. And no, we didn't play on a Tuesday, did we? We were only
we
Wednesdays.
just played Wednesday and Friday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Last year we might have played on a Tuesday, but
The Friday was the day after Thanksgiving, right? You guys
Yeah.
played Easter?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Did you guys end up winning that one? Or?
Gosh, nope.
Nope, man.
Nope, didn't win that one.
Eastern, somehow, some way, like just wrapping it up about Eastern or whatever, like how they win games in Ypsilanti, and it blows my mind. Like
Bro.
it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like Ypsilanti is not like nice by any means, you know. So like maybe they're just so locked in on ball that they win games down there, you know.
We don't get along overly well with Eastern and
their
stuff.
field is like literally great.
It is great. It's cool.
It's
cool
great.
field
Is
and
it
everything like that.
nice turf though?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I ripped my knee up on it.
Really?
But, yeah, I mean it's nice. It wasn't
Yeah.
bad. But yeah, we don't really get along well with Eastern. They like to, talk.
Any
a lot.
other Michigan school.
Any other Michigan school.
Yo, like,
But
did
honestly,
you
though,
guys beat
like-
Western?
No, they didn't beat Western either.
So
So that was a snowball.
Who won the trophy? The Michigan.
Eastern.
They beat both of you guys.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. We played Western in the Snow Bowl. That was the Snow Bowl game, and then it was like 2 feet of snow on the field, like absolute blizzard. I'll show you pictures after this. You couldn't see.
How was it running on that? Like,
You couldn't run. Our quarterback, the freshman Burt Emanuel, BJ,
Yeah.
he ran. He had a touchdown. He like runs out wide. They cut him off. Like there's nowhere to go, and he like comes to a
Literally just
stop,
stops
and
and
then
starts
just cuts
running the
back,
other way.
and like nobody could
Everyone
because
just,
you
like-
couldn't cut, so like
Oh,
everybody
man.
just like was standing there, and he just ran around everybody. It went like 80 yards for a touchdown. It was like this,
what was
like
the final of that game?
12 to 10.
12 to 10.
12 to 10
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
a safety.
Was that here or was that there?
It was here.
at our place. Yeah, we
That's
took a
so
safety.
wild.
Yeah,
Hey, like not gonna lie though, it has to be kind of nice. Like, I mean, you don't really have to travel that far to get to like some of these spots. I mean,
yeah. No, I
blessing
mean,
and a curse, I guess.
how far do you guys drive normally?
So like basically the furthest I've drove is we drove out to Maryland, which is like 12, 13 hours, and then like, I mean,
Yeah, I
we
think-
flew to Texas. Like anywhere else we'll fly.
That's
you
Yeah.
know, like it's
crazy.
like if you guys flew to Oklahoma State, I'm
We
assuming.
fly. We'll
We
fly to
pretty much
the
fly
non-conference
anything
games.
over like 5 or 6
Yeah,
hours.
so like Buffalo's the only like MAC team we fly to.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. They were at your crib this year, but
Yeah,
okay,
we
okay.
didn't have to go there.
Yep, yep.
But we
So
would normally fly there.
Did you guys play Ball State this year?
No, we did
Yeah,
not.
we did.
Oh, yeah, we did. That was homecoming.
Yeah,
Gosh.
our
Also a
first
bad
like
game.
home MAC game was
Was
about
it- was
17 to 16.
So you guys lost some close games. I mean,
We
lots
lost
of close-
4 games this year by less than a touchdown.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's something that you hang your hat on. You know, I
No,
mean, it's
it
tough. You
was-
know what I'm saying? Like you got to win the close ones, but
Just frustrating.
yeah, no
There's
doubt.
not another word to even describe it. It was just, a lot of
Yeah.
stuff didn't go our way. We killed ourselves in a lot of
Yeah.
situations, shot ourselves in the foot and
Man.
stuff like that, which is tough and whatnot. But
Tough,
That's
man.
just how it goes. I want to ask you, favorite college football moment? Like, what experience was like your like the coolest moment you've had?
Man, I would like so in fall 2021 we just lost to Grand Valley. Everyone knows Grand Valley, like they're solid, like probably the most winning Division II program in the country. So like they're really solid. We get blitzed by them. Like it's hot in October for some reason. Like we get blitzed 49-17. I think that was the final. Like it was bad. It was really
Yeah.
bad. Like we're hanging our hats. The next week we got to go to Texas. We got to fly down to Texas A&M Commerce, and like basically we look around the locker room like you guys know the feeling. You play football. Like there's no way we win this game. Like they have
Yeah.
the number 1 defense in the country. Like there's no way we win. We got to go to Texas. We already played a hot week. We got to play another hot game down
Yeah.
there. Like it's crazy. Like we go down there and our defense performs out their asses, and basically like we win the game in overtime 20-17. I thought it was super cool. Like because like that trip back from Texas, if we would have lost that game, would have been like. You know,
Oh,
we
yeah.
lose 2 in a row. I mean, you guys
know
know what I'm
exactly
saying. So, like,
what you
it
mean.
was
Know
one of those things,
exactly
like,
what
we
you
go
mean.
down, mind you, like, we had 54 plays. We rushed for, like, less than 30 yards. I mean, it was totally embarrassing on the offensive end. Like, I will admit, and I'm an offensive lineman, so, like, yeah, I am partially to blame. Like, we got our stuff kicked in. Like, it's no, I mean, but, like, at overtime, you know, we run the ball a couple times. Like, we literally run our scout team quarterback literally played the whole fourth quarter. So, our first string guy hurt, out for the year, torn UCL. Second string guy goes in, gets hurt. Third string guy, they break his red shirt week 9 or week 8, whatever it is, like week 7, whatever it is. It's something crazy. Like you break a dude's red shirt in week 7, like I mean that's crazy. Like he ended up redshirting this year anyway, but like it's just like he goes in and like it was his first college football game, and you got to play Texas A&M Commerce. Like they won the Natty like the year before, 2 years before. So it's like, man, it's nuts. We should not have won that game, but like our defense, like they turned the ball over a bunch. We won 2017 overtime. That's absolutely my favorite so far. I mean, like it was just a great team feeling. Like we flew back to Texas. The plane ride was fun. Like, and obviously, like in D2, you don't get to fly that much. You know what I'm saying? So, like it's usually bus rides, so we got to fly in Texas too, and we beat a really good team. And they're Division 1 now. Like it was their last year being Division 2. They went to FCS. Yeah. So it was like cool. Like like got some respect. Obviously, it was cool. But
and a little pickup from the week before too.
Yeah, no doubt. Like losing to those guys, like getting smacked around, like. Coming back. What about you guys? Like, what's cool about obviously you guys are young, so like
Penn State was cool. Yeah, I was thinking a funny plane story.
I think I'd say the Sun Bowl was the coolest thing.
That was too.
Where was that at?
In El Paso, Texas.
Wow, that's
so we got
just like the whole like bowl game.
Let me see
the whole bowl game experience.
You can open it up, take it out.
Okay, yeah.
That's the bowl ring.
Yeah, so it's got both games.
We're the first team to officially ever win 2 bowl games in 1 year because Boise had a forfeit, so then we ended up going to that was in Arizona.
That's right.
And then we drove to El Paso to play Washington State. And we beat Washington State. So we were the first team to ever win.
How was so like walk me through that little week you guys had there? Like
that was crazy.
Obviously, you guys were in Arizona.
Yeah, we flew to Arizona for the Barstool Bowl. And
that's right. Was that the first one ever?
First Barstool Bowl. Like Portnoy and all those guys were supposed to be coming in like on a Wednesday or something like that. And Monday they like announced Boise State had like COVID. So then we ended up staying there like the whole time. And then like 2 days later they were like officially announced we were gonna play Washington in El Paso. So we like jumped out because we couldn't get plane tickets. So we had to jump on buses, drove to El Paso.
Wow.
Played the next day.
Really? Played Washington State the next day.
Won that game. I was thinking when you were talking about planes, we beat them. Got in a plane. We landed like 5 minutes before New Year's. So it was on New Year's Eve. And I'll never forget, we were coming in. It's a snowstorm. Man. It is a blizzard. We are coming in hot. The plane is like 10 feet. I'm awake. I like can't sleep on a plane. I was looking out the window. We are like 10 feet above the tarmac. Pilot said, screw it. He just dropped that thing. Boom! Everybody's like, people fly out of their seats, dude. Everybody's like, what the hell was that? People are like on the ground in the middle of that. Bro, it was bad.
Dude,
and then all of a sudden,
he tried to save it. He played "We Are the Champions."
He goes ding ding, and then he comes on. He goes,
sorry about the
win. Back to Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Congratulations on the win. And then "We Are the Champions" comes on. And everybody's like, we are the singing.
It kind of worked, though. Everybody forgot about it.
Everybody was like, yeah. And then after, we were like, wow, he almost just killed all of us.
But like, you guys might have been alive.
Bro, it was so. He literally, like, I feel like we've had terrible plane ride lands.
There was one this year, too.
Do you guys have your own, like, plane, or do you guys, like...
I mean, yeah, it's a whole, like, plane. We rent out the whole plane or whatever.
No, I think he's saying, like, do we have, like, our own plane?
Oh,
like,
no, we don't have like a Central Michigan plane.
Right, okay.
No, we like charter one or whatever. Yeah, charter or whatever it is. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, Penn State, I'm pretty sure he dropped us from a good
Is it the same guy every time?
I don't know. Well, we lost our pilot in Oklahoma State, so I don't know if it's the same guy.
Oh, different guy.
He's a wild guy. That is him.
Dude, that is so wild, man.
And then, I don't know, what would you say your other favorite moment is? Do you have another favorite moment, Alec? Or
me? I'd say... I thought Western 2 last year was cool.
Yeah, see, like, that's something I didn't get to experience.
Yeah,
talk about that quick, because I don't even know if he knows.
What, with Western?
Yeah, just like the game.
I mean, it was kind of like no one really had the upper hand. Were we like underdog? I don't know who was the underdog. I think it was like a pretty fair matchup.
Yeah.
But just like kind of getting to watch like some of those stud players like KP, Khalil Pimpleton, like like 3 touchdowns, 2 punt returns.
Yeah, he had 2 punt returns back to back for touchdowns.
One was like 97
yards.
He took one to the house. Pretty cool. Like obviously he got a shot.
Yeah,
is he still going?
I say
he's on the Giants.
Yeah, he plays for the Giants now. I give I'm nowhere in my college career without him.
Yeah,
he because when I came in, he talked to Mac and he was like, hey, he's pretty good. We gotta give him a shot. Get him out there.
Yeah,
and then so coming into camp, I was the 3rd string. Then 2 days in, I got moved to the 2, and then by the time we came, it was KP, guy named Ja'Cory Sullivan in Dallas were the 3 starters, and then I was like the 4th. So I was like subbing to all 3.
Yeah.
So I would have never even had an opportunity if he had like spoke up for me.
You still keep in contact with
him? No, he's my boy. Hopefully we're gonna have. We got the TV, so like we get Zoom call people.
Oh, okay.
So I want to get like him on it, and like that's the ideal.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, like
that's
super
awesome.
cool.
Great
dude.
leader, like
Yeah.
all around good person.
Yeah, I was thinking like, isn't it crazy how like dudes like him just like, I mean like, he's from Muskegon, goes to Central Michigan, like gets a shot at the Lions, like that's so cool.
He's 5'7".
He's only 5'7".
I think
He's
he might be 5'8".
I'm gonna be honest. I spent plenty of time. He's not 5'8". But he's the dude is a dog.
No, no doubt.
If he was,
I remember,
if he was 5'9", he is like so much farther ahead. I promise you.
Yeah.
Because like they would 5'10" even like they
Yeah.
would, so many more opportunities. That was the only. He's just not big. He's not a big guy.
Big
So like
guy,
that was the issue.
Yeah.
And then you got to do Hard Knocks, which is super cool.
Super cool, man.
Yeah.
He was
He was
juggling on it. Did you see that?
He was the person. Like everybody loved him and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's so cool
obviously
to
it was tough that it didn't end up working out, whatever. But he got an opportunity with the Giants now and stuff like that. So he got to like go to Europe for the game. Like he went over there and stuff like that.
Or is he,
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he might have went active like one for like a game. Or I think he might have gone for that that game. I think he might have like went active for it or something like that.
Man.
But yeah, he's kicking butt over there, doing his thing. So yeah.
I mean,
That's one of the coolest things I always say about college football. It's just like the experiences like that you get to like grow with, and, like the people that you get to meet,
relationships and like the connections you
yeah,
make.
like it's unbelievable. Like we talked about off camera, our 2 tackles are like one of them starting for Tom Brady right now. Like
That's
he's
so
hanging out
wild.
with Tom Brady on the daily. Like that's unreal to
That's
even
so
think
awesome,
about.
yeah.
For being like kids from the like nowhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to have that.
And you guys
in
got to
mind.
like know those guys personally.
We hang out.
and
I
stuff,
could text him right now and he would like respond.
Yeah,
which is
that's
wild.
awesome, man.
You know
That's
what I mean?
wild.
So
Yeah.
that stuff's so cool. I
So
always
cool,
think
man.
like the experiences and things like that come from college sports is like what makes them so
Makes it,
great.
man.
Like you talked about like playing for your brothers and stuff like that. Like these bonds are like forever. Like, those things are going to be forever.
Yeah,
and
and it's
stuff
not
like
just
that.
football. You know, it's life. You know, it's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Wouldn't change it.
I appreciate you coming on, my boy.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It was a
sir.
good podcast,
Appreciate you,
man. My
Yes,
boy
sir.
Sal came over
sir.
and hung out for a little bit. That was good. Got to hear. I like the idea is we're gonna have people from different schools and whatnot because I don't want it just to be football. I don't want it just to be like Division I. Like there's so many different parts that go into everything as a college athlete. So the idea is we want to hit all of it and talk about it
no
all and
doubt.
stuff like that.
Appreciate
so,
you, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for coming out. If you haven't hit the subscribe button already, subscribe, comment, leave a like. Check out the Instagram. His stuff will be tagged below as well.
Sir.
We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Peace out.
See you guys.